Cooler has taken a Saiyan space pod, to which he finds out that there's a Saiyan child inside. This child ends up to be Kakarot. He grows up strong until eventually Cooler orders him to attack Frieza bases. That's where he ran into the other Saiyans. So what do you think is gonna happen? Find out in this part 2 of What If Cooler Raised Kakarot. Vegeta thinks Kakarot is crazy for challenging all 3 of them. There's no way that he can handle all of them alone. But after seeing how he blocked Nappa's attack, and the scouters show that his power level rose up past the 5-figure range, he might actually be serious. Kakarot lets go of Nappa's hand and lunges at Raditz. He wants to see what his older brother can do. And he knows who Raditz is. He has a few memories of him while he was in his incubation chamber. The two of them start fighting, and I wouldn't really call this a fight as Kakarot is far stronger than Raditz, and Kakarot is really disappointed. He thought that at least his older brother would put up more of a fight, but it seems that he's just insignificant pest of a Saiyan. So Kakarot completely demolishes Raditz, and just before Kakarot is about to kill him, Raditz gets up and charges the artificial moon, and he tosses it. And Kakarot sees what he's trying to do, and Vegeta calls out to Raditz, calling him an idiot. Making an artificial moon will also turn Kakarot into a great ape. He won't be able to win that way. And Kakarot says that he doesn't need to become a great ape to fight Raditz. He then closes his eyes so he doesn't look at the moon while he's fighting Raditz. And the Saiyans are shocked. How is Kakarot able to fight Raditz in his base while Raditz is a great ape? With his eyes closed of all things. And when they check their scouters, they see that Kakarot's power is still rising. It's above 20k, no, 50k, no, it's even further than that. How in the hell is he that strong? It doesn't make any sense unless he's a Super Saiyan. Meanwhile, Kakarot is getting bored of fighting Raditz, so he calls out to Nappa and Vegeta. He's gotten a fun idea, so he's gonna make a different deal with them. He wants to fight all of them as a great ape, and if they manage to beat him, he's gonna join them. And Nappa and Vegeta get angry at Kakarot, treating this all like it's a whole game. They're gonna make him regret ever speaking to them like they're nothing. They're better than him in every way. They're elites. He's just a low-class warrior. Well, that's at least what Nappa says. Vegeta actually hasn't said nothing. He's been silent this whole time. But Vegeta does eventually tell Nappa to calm down, as this is most likely their only opportunity for Kakarot to join them. He might be strong even for a low-class Saiyan, but he can't handle 3 great apes at the same time. So Nappa and Vegeta then turn into great apes and start fighting Kakarot. And I just realized I never really went over how strong Kakarot really is, because we are in that point of the story where power levels still kind of mattered. But if you're wondering, Kakarot's power level is 185,000, and you're probably wondering why is that. Well, Cooler's been making Kakarot do intense training ever since he was young, and he's pretty much been doing that for his entire childhood, training with his squadron who is stated to be above the Ginyu force. He even went on missions to different planets that has different kinds of gravity on it, and he comes back injured from those missions. He grows stronger from a Zenkai boost. And even though Kakarot is strong, handling 3 great apes is kind of a challenge to him, but that doesn't bother him. He likes a challenge. It's making this more fun for him. And only one person is making this fun for him, and he's starting to take an interest in. It's Vegeta. The other two? Kakarot doesn't care about the other two. Raditz is just a weakling Saiyan who would do anything just to survive, and he's honestly disgusted to know that that's his older brother. And Nappa's just a meathead brute who has a short temper. You say anything to him, he'll get mad to the point where he can't see straight. Those two aren't great enough to become his rivals, but Vegeta, he's different from the other two. Yeah, he can have his own head up his ass at points, but you can tell that he's a great fighter. You can see the potential of him becoming a great rival for him. So now he knows what to do. He's gonna kill Raditz and Nappa and leave Vegeta alive. But it is gonna be a little bit hard to do that since they're all attacking together. Now if it was just Raditz and Nappa, yeah, he can handle it, even with them bringing great apes. But with Vegeta there, it kinda turns the table in their favor. Now he could transform into a great ape and wipe him out, but where's the fun in that? So he's gonna have to try to use some strategy, try to split them up somehow. If they can get him away from Vegeta, he can deal with them with no problems. And Kakarot gets an idea. They can't sense energy, and that could be in his favor, as he then blasts the ground of the planet, creating a huge smoke screen. And once the smoke settles, Graves see that Kakarot's not there anymore. He disappeared. Did he just retreat? And Nappa yells out that Kakarot's a coward. How is he gonna talk that big and then retreat in the end? And Vegeta says that Vegeta tells him that he's not retreating, he's hiding. He didn't see his ship leave, so he's still on the planet somewhere. He wants the Saiyans to split up to find him, as they can't let Kakarot get away. He's their only chance at beating Frieza. So they split off in search of Kakarot, and Kakarot sees this as his plan is working. And he spotted his first target all alone, Nappa. Then Raditz and Vegeta hear Nappa scream, as they then turn over and see that Kakarot is there. They see his fist hit Nappa's gut, then he maneuvers behind Nappa, hitting him in the back of the head, which slams him heavy into the ground. Kakarot then puts a hand out, launching a blast at Nappa, and the blast goes straight through his chest, killing Nappa instantly. Kakarot then smiles, as that's one down. one more to go. Raditz and Vegeta are in complete shock. Kakarot just killed Nappa like that? And Vegeta is too distracted by this, as Kakarot then goes after Raditz. As Raditz tried to launch a blast from his mouth at Kakarot, but it completely missed. As in front of him, he sees Kakarot with his hands out. And Kakarot tells Raditz one thing: when he goes to hell, tell his father that he said hi. As he then blasts Raditz's head off. And Vegeta is stunned by this, as Kakarot killed them with no remorse. It's like he's another Frieza. As Kakarot then turns to Vegeta, as he is enjoying seeing that look on Vegeta's face, that frustration, and that fear. Kakarot didn't kill those other Saiyans not only because they were weak, well, that was one major fact, but another one was to serve motivation for Vegeta. Give him a real reason to go all out against him. And this proves it works, as Vegeta's really pissed off. The two of them fight, and to Kakarot's surprise, Vegeta's doing well. Vegeta's grade 8 form is very close to Kakarot's base power, but Kakarot is still above him. Not by much, but he's still stronger. And with Vegeta being such a giant target, it makes the battle easier for Kakarot. So Kakarot decides to end the fight by going behind Vegeta and blasting his tail off, which makes him revert back to normal. And he is badly injured, and the only thing he sees in front of him is Kakarot, as Kakarot then picks him up by his collar. And he tells Vegeta that he's earned his respect. Even though he had to resort to transform into a great ape, he still gave him one of the best battles he had in a while. So he gives Vegeta one last message. He wants him to come back stronger next time. He wants to fight him again. As he charges up some ki and blasts Vegeta away, leaving him barely alive. After that, Kakarot then gets on his ship and heads back to Cooler. And he tells Cooler that he accomplished the mission, even telling him that he ran into the Saiyans. And Cooler's honestly surprised to hear this. He saw the other Saiyans? Yeah, but they were weak compared to him, so he decided to kill them. And Cooler's glad to hear that Kakarot didn't join them. Some time has passed, and then we cut to Frieza. And Frieza's very concerned. He hasn't heard anything from the Saiyans. Could they be dead? Now it's not like that he cares about them. In fact, he's glad that they're dead. But the part that he's concerned is, if the Saiyans died, that means that other Saiyan came there, and he killed them. Which means he's a bigger threat than he thought. And he's actually thinking about calling the Ginyu Force for this problem. Yeah, that could work. The Ginyu Force can do it. They should be able to handle this Saiyan and find out who he's working for. He probably should have done that from the beginning instead of sending his Saiyans. He was underestimating him. We then cut back to Cooler's ship, as he called on his entire squadron and Kakarot. And they wonder what does Cooler need for him to summon all of them. And Cooler tells him that he needs them all to go on a mission. All of them together, to one planet. From the intel that someone gave him, it's a planet that's highly valuable, and he wants to sell it before Frieza can. And the planet has some really strong people on it, so he wants to send everybody there. And Kakarot's been wondering, who's been giving Cooler all the information about all these places? And Cooler tells him that it's this group called the Heaters. It was originally working for Frieza, but he managed to make them work for him. And Kakarot asks Cooler, is he sure that he can trust the Heaters? Maybe this is a trap. He did say that they used to work for Frieza, who says that they can't play both sides. And Cooler tells Kakarot not to worry about it. If they do betray him, he's just gonna kill them, easy as that. But if the information is legit, he'll let them live for now. The squadron then sets a course for the planet. It is quite a distance, so it does take some time for them to get there. But eventually they do make it. And when they land on the planet, the first thing they see is nothing. Seems like it's a barren planet. And Kakarot tries to see if he can sense anyone on the planet, but he senses nothing. There's no powers here. And the planet doesn't even look that valuable. The Heaters must have scammed them. But why would the Heaters send them to a barren planet? It doesn't make any sense. But that's when Kakarot feels 5 powers coming to the planet, and he tells the rest of the squadron to get ready. Someone's coming. As then 5 space bots crash onto the planet, with 5 people stepping out of it, striking a pose. And they're calling themselves the Ginyu Force. And Kakarot recognizes that name. Isn't that the group that works under Frieza? And Kakarot immediately understands what's going on. The Heaters were playing both sides. So Kakarot and the squadron get ready to fight, as the squadron then pull off their own pose, yelling that they're Cooler's armored squadron. And Kakarot kinda hates how similar they are, striking a pose before every battle. And Ginyu's shocked to hear that that's Cooler's armored squadron. He only heard rumors about Cooler, but he didn't think he actually existed. That's Frieza's brother. And the one beside him, the one who's dishonorably not striking a pose, that must be the Saiyan that Frieza's looking for. So that's who the Saiyan was working for. Frieza's gonna be happy to hear the news after they kill them all. And Kakarot tells him he'll be glad to see them try. As Kakarot and the squadron attack the Ginyu Force, with Kakarot fighting Ginyu, Salzo fighting Burger and Jace, Dor fighting Raccoon, and Nez fighting Guldo. And the squadron is easily able to kill all the other Ginyu Force members. And Ginyu can't believe that they were dismantled that quickly. Every member of his squad was killed, and he's the only one that's left. He thought that they were going to be strong enough to at least handle their own. Apparently he was wrong, they're stronger than he thought. Especially the Saiyan, it seems like he's the strongest out of all of them. And when he checks his scouter, he sees that Kakarot's power exceeds his own. And Ginyu figures that he has no chance against him unless he does one thing. He has to switch bodies with the Saiyan. So Ginyu tries to take Kakarot's body, and Salza tells him to watch out, but it's too late, as he's able to successfully take Kakarot's body, but not before injuring himself. And in Ginyu's body, Kakarot plummets to the ground. And Kakarot doesn't know what happened, but he knows that he's in serious pain, as he then looks up and sees that he's looking at himself. And Kakarot realized what happened. He switched bodies. And this is where we'll leave this part off. What did you guys think of this video? And do you want to see more? If you do, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It supports me and it supports the channel, showing me that you want to see more what ifs. Anyways, I'm DBZ Anarchy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.